think this is up. We're learning. How do I display that I'm streaming in Discord? That would be cool. Let me figure that out and we'll start again. Connect Discord to Twitch. Oh, I did that. Nope. I am not sure how to link this. User settings, connections, Twitch. I mean, it says it's connected. Why is it not showing? Well, I give up. That's fine. Let's play some more Azorius Mentor. Profiles, nope. Privacy. I don't like 3 creatures. 3 is too many to keep the hand. This is much better. Okay, we keep the lands, we keep Picklock, we keep Make Disappear. I think we can just ditch the Mentor. Deserted Beach, mono red aggro. Do we Deserted Beach? No, then we want to consider. Try and find a land. If we miss, we miss. But yes, interesting. Seems bad. Sure. You want to shoot me for 6? That was a joke. That's hilarious. I guess so. I mean, I guess that's a lot of damage. Am I dead? Okay. You got me, boss. 2 Elspeth Smites, 2 Sunset Revelries. Prevent all damage the black-red sources would deal to creatures I control. That's probably good. Alright, well, let's see what we want to cut. We definitely want to get rid of Inspired Idea. I think make disappear is too slow. Then we just want, like, interaction. This is probably fine to protect creatures, honestly. And, like, protect our face, too. Do we trim Gaze? No, I think we need to keep Gaze for tempo games to just help fill the game graveyard quickly, sorry. Probably trim a Charter Course. I think that's fine. I don't think we want Spell Pierce. Do we want Spell Pierce? No, probably not. Do we want Flanker? Again, no, probably not. Okay, so we keep this. I think top lane in turn 1 is fine. Okay, we're gonna keep that. We do want to draw that. We want to find a creature to cheat into play, so obviously we're gonna need something to cheat it into play with. Wait for turn. And say go. Yeah. Sure thing. We are going to consider, before we Otherworldly Gaze, one, in case we find an Elspeth Smite here. In addition to that, let's say it was the end of turn, we would consider first, because no matter what we do with consider, we won't know what is left on top of the deck. So we can freshly gaze after that. I'm just pausing, thinking here if we want to check for an Elspeth Smite right now, and I think the answer to that is no. Yep, okay, do want the land, that way we don't need to leave it on top here, and we're looking to bin a creature here. Preferably Monastery Mentor. Well, okay, we don't need you. We do want to draw you. And unless he removal spells in response, we can actually draw. Actually, we're going to draw off of this, so I think leaving this on top is fine. Because Picklock will help fill the bin. Yeah. Alternatively, we could bin this. No, I'm okay with Picklock. Picklock's really good here. All 3 modes hitting here. Sure. Still don't know if you would want Spell Pierce in this matchup. I don't think you do. I mean, this is obviously a unique take on mono red aggro, but oh, well, that's not great, but I guess that makes sense. Ouch. Wishing we had an Elspeth Smite again. I'm just gonna do this so we can just get through the turn quicker. Monastery Mentor. Perfect. That's really, really impactful. You shooting me for 4? Jeez Louise! Gonjo's a really good draw. Well, any white land is a really good draw, I should say. Do we pick lock now? We only get rewarded for that if we hit sleight of hand or creature plus helping hand. And we get punished for that in probably a couple of ways. No, I don't want to give him information. I think the likelihood of us getting rewarded for it is like us specifically hitting sleight of hand or land plus thing is low. Alright, so this tells me he's light on instants and sorceries. Not attacking here. If we hit a second instant or sorcery here... okay, so we do get punished on this. I think we have to block here. They really don't want to go down to 6. What is in his hand? Alright, so there's highly likely at least 1 land, probably 2 lands. Based on the fact that there's another creature and he didn't shoot me. Okay, he has 4 lands in hand. Interesting. I don't think Flanker is good enough. Like a draw 2. Or sorry, gain 2 and scry 2. I just don't think that's good enough. Is temporary lockdown good here? I mean, it cleanly answers a board of multiple threats. Actually, I don't hate that. I don't think it's very great. Okay, what's it better though? What's the worst card in my deck right now? Probably extra copies of draw spells. And I can always ditch them with a chart of course. I have a -1 gem. -1 gaze, +2 lockdown. Notably, we are weak to Soulforge, or whatever it's called, but I mean, there's no way around that. You know what? I don't think lockdown on the draw. I think I want to try Spell Pierce. I think Spell Pierce might be reasonable here. Shit, I'm gonna bounce his ideas off. Yikes. These hands are so risky. I need to hit I need to naturally draw land, and I need to find 2 lands at a 3, which is not likely. Of the first 3 cards on my deck, or the first 3 cards I get to draw, I should say. And if I do, this hand's fine. No, I'm gonna mulligan that. This hand is better. This hand's a lot better. It's not great by any means, but it's better. And we're gonna ditch the... I'm not holding on blue. We're gonna ditch the Spell Pierce here. If we had an untapped blue source, I think that might be reasonable. Tap land to start. Interesting. Maybe he was stuck with some black cards in his hand last game. Either way, we're gonna just get this into play tapped while we can. Drawing a second mentor is a kick in the nuts. Not having the Spell Pierce now. Did you keep a 1-lander? 7? You kept a 1-lander on the play with a tap land. My guy. You're not allowed to do that. I mean, I approve of it, but that's not what you're supposed to do if you want to win games. Duress, sure thing. You can have my Elspeth's Might. You took out the Replicates. Alright. We're gonna take the... Consider we want some instant speed interaction with these mentors. Oh my gosh. Notably, we are off also double blue, which is a concern we need to make sure we're paying attention to. Like, as much as he's stuck on one and we have 3, we're not that far ahead right now, unless we can draw blue swords. Like, if he just kills this, we have to untap. Yikes. I mean, he's more in a worse situation, but regardless. I think we can just get an attack him. Yeah. We're just gonna play second mentor. No, we're not gonna block, thank you. Okay, let's start with a consider. Now that we have like Elspeth's Might and Surgeon Salvation, we're feeling pretty good. This game should be over. I'm keeping a 1-land Taplander on the play. Baller move. Okay. Target opponent. Seems like it doesn't work well against the search. I mean, I guess I should spell this actually, but he's dead. Alright. Take them while we can get them. That's on you for keeping a 1-liner on the play that was the top land. We didn't really earn anything, but we take those. Don't want to change anything in the deck currently. Sure. This is a hand of magical cards. So we're not gonna sleight of hand here. I want to otherworldly gaze, try and find a creature, pending on Esper. Yeah. Is that right? Yeah, probably. Pretty high upside if we hit a creature. That's not a creature, but it is lands that we need to play this game. So we're going to get rid of that. We want to keep both lands? I don't think we want both lands. So one notable thing about this matchup is you need to be very careful about casting your draw spells into Fairy Mastermind. Also, this matchup sucks. It's really bad. Until we get Geralf the Fleshright and Jace Reawaken. This is not Esper midrange. This looks like Esper Control. Oh yeah, actually Esper midrange doesn't play an island either. Well, most don't. They play in plains and a swamp. No, think actually maybe. I mean, being control, like we definitely just want to be hitting our lands, so. Well, we are gonna find more lands. We'll just take this. We have nothing but draw spells currently. I'm not concerned about my life. Let's go with this. Would you like to counterspell it? Nope. Okay, this one we're gonna take the land. Just in case we get unlucky and like miss here, because we can always discard it to the Charter Course, or he counters it as well. Ditch this. We don't want to tap land. As per control. I play like 6 basics, my guy. That is no problem. Also, I get to untap a land for free. Maybe sweet if I like Spell Pierce and blew him out on something here. I think I need to keep the sound on in the background. Oh, it says that. Helping him. Don't need another one of those. I need some creatures. Ooh, okay. Well, that's Magic Arena. Should have stopped in my upkeep. Oopsie. Let's just jam another Charter Course. I'm gonna counter this. Might look like I'm mana screwed. No. Alright, let's show. We will ditch another Worldly Gaze. Just get an Archive into play. Picklock we definitely want to draw, so we'll leave that there. We probably just won't Otherworldly Gaze here. Deluge, yeah, I mean it is what it is. We do need to start finding a threat though, like we really need to be applying pressure against control. These long games do not favor us. Okay. I'm now inclined to gaze. I want to know a creature. A little more under pressure. We're gonna have to kill that. It's gonna be a while before he gets to flip it, so not a big deal. He just gets some extra mana. Yeah. Yeah, that's happening. I'm just not finding a threat. We have 8 creatures in our deck, and we got 30 cards into the deck before we saw one of them. A little unlucky. I don't think we want to do this now. The good news is this thing's fucking giant. My guy, come on. I mean, he's just gonna kill us if I play it right now. But I really don't have another option. I can't really just sit around forever. Not having anything to do for 4.5 sucks. What did I keep? Should I have mulligan? It was, I think it was like 2 or 3 lands, 2 cantrips, 2 Charter Course, something like that. might have had a... No, I think there was an otherworldly gaze. No, it was correct keep. This is just unlucky. Like, probability of just not seeing a creature until the 30th card in the deck is extremely low. Curious how likely that is. Geometric mean calculator. 60 cards in the deck. We are looking at the first 30 cards. There's 8 cards I want, and I want to see one of them. So a 99.8% chance we should have seen a creature. So 0.02% chance that this happened. So not going to stress too much about it, I guess. This is exile my gens. Okay, let's go to the next one. Do we want Surge of Salvation? No, I don't think so. Doesn't get my spells hexproof. That's not a thing, right? Yeah, no. Yeah, no, it's fine. Let's get rid of you for sure. I doubt that he's playing Denick. I think that's unlikely. Let's trim down on 2 of these. I'm going to leave 2 of these in just in case. I mean, it's just Denick I care about, though. We'll leave 1. As long as there's no Denick, we're okay. At least at the RC, it's open deck list, so not needing to guess whether or not my opponent has key sideboard spells. His hand is playable. And we drew 1 of Get Lost. Don't love this. So this is not good. Not good. The bipolar bear is getting us. Ooh, notably he is off. What's it called? This gets cut down right now. I think that's fine. No more lies. If he is playing no more lies, he's not casting it off that, which is good because we obviously don't want our creatures being exiled. That's cool. Jam another gem. Mentor feels like the highest impact card, so protecting this is relevant. Also, getting this, if for any reason this does stick, it helps us then further protect Mentor down the road, assuming we can draw some draw spells or interaction. Maybe. Ooh. Should have played my land first. Not that it matters. This is probably a dead card. I should have sideboarded it out. He was playing Esper, right? Pretty sure my opponent was playing Esper the first game. The next one. This can't be hard to keep. No. We need draw spells. Well, that'll get him a white man at least. What are you looking at your graveyard for? Can you flash something back? No. Goodbye, mentors? Yep. Seriously, man. Well, at least we found a use for this. Yikes. I mean, yeah, hope for the best. Considering he has a Siphon Insight, a Clue, and 2 cards in hand. 1 card in hand. Alright. I would like to play against some meta decks I'm trying to test against, please. Not this nonsense. Give me some mid-range decks. Well, the testing still is not that relevant. Without the new cards. Hello? Excuse me. Oh, I don't think I actually need to my string. Gotta change up landing. Yeah, I want to send down there. Okay, excuse me. I'm very tired. Gleeful Demolition. Nope. Shut the music happen now. We really need to find a land off this. That will work. We're definitely not out of the weeds yet, but if he doesn't have a strong turn, we should be able to stabilize. Alright. That should be us turning the corner. I don't think we need to be attacking. We just need to not die and we will win. So there's a risk that he flashed in the make a 1/1 dude I forget the name of last turn, which would have been pretty problematic from an attack standpoint, I think. Because we'd like to be blocking one of those 1/1s. Still another mentor. Alright, so we are keeping this because that's going to help us close out the game. Actually, we don't need it. And it makes our mana awkward if we do. We'll actually sleight of hand, grab the helping hand, hold up 2 mana works. So let's do it like that. Quick little math check. What do we have? We have 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 damage. I mean, we probably could have pushed for lethal. But that's fine. If we'd grab the sleight of hand, but I think that's more risk. No? Good game? Man, I'm so excited to play with Geralf and Jace. Oh, this deck's gonna be insane. Alright, so, what did we decide last time we played against this? We liked... we did not like... What was it? No, we liked Get Lost on the draw for sure. Get Lost over Elspeth's Might. Okay, so let's get on what we definitely need. We need those. We need these. We don't need that. It's too slow. Make Disappear is clunky. I think we might leave 2 though. Otherworldly Gaze helps us just... all we need to do, like last time we played this matchup, we just never... Like we won game 1 and then we just never drew a 3rd land in game 2 or 3 to cast Umbra Lockdown. So Gaze, like I don't want to cut any draw spells. We just need to get to Gaze with double white, which is notably difficult because we don't play enough white sources to do that consistently. So the draw spells are really important. Cuts wise, on the draw, Elspeth's Might is too slow to kill Warden. Like that's all we really care about. I mean, it's not true. I go back and forth on this. All right, Soul Partition, you're out. 2 Make Disappear seems fine. We can trim a Charter Course. We could probably trim 2 Charter Course. You know, we can probably trim 3 Charter Course. And this might keep us alive long enough. Heck, do we just trim the 4th Charter Course? Yeah. Let's run it back like this. Oh. Interesting. His hands are always traps. He keeps on 7. His hand does not a whole lot. Let's try it. I don't know. We're on the draw. We're not likely... Like, we're not feeling great about this on the draw regardless. That makes his hand a million times better. See if he's got a Cavern. If not, this Make Disappear might get some mileage. I don't mind the Make Disappear because they might sometimes cast multiple cards anyways. And like, you know, you might tap out and then fully convoke Ranger, so you can Make Disappear the Ranger. No Ranger. Right. So notably, we really need to be finding temporary lockdown here, obviously. Unfortunately, Picklock excuse me. Unfortunately, Picklock doesn't find it, which is always problematic. There's the cavern. Sure. Okay, we don't need a second helping hand. That doesn't seem like that would be helpful. Elspeth might help us stay alive a little bit. I'm pretty sure we're just playing a creature next turn. And if we're playing a creature next turn, it's probably Jin. He's likely killing it with a case. We're untapping. And then we need to live. So Elspeth's fine. Where are we supposed to play Mentor here? Because if he's going to kill it... Actually, yeah, if he's going to kill it, we... whatever dies is what we're going to be replaying with Helping Hand, turn 4. And we're going to get a lot more mileage out of the Mentor than we would begin in trying to stabilize this game. So, seeing how this game played out, his hand has been, like, average. And considering that we're getting rolled over, this probably should have been a mulligan. Like, if we're just losing to an average 7, an average hand, we probably should have just mulliganed looking for a temporary lockdown. And I think if we end up with like an average hand on 6, okay, we need to evaluate this. I don't think grabbing Mentor is enough to stabilize now. So we grab Mentor, we can cast 3 spells. Like we can consider, or like sleight of hand consider. So we have 3 blockers and kill 1 creature. So we take out 4. And then we're still left taking 6 damage. Is that correct? I grab Mentor, dork, kill something. I get 3 dudes. And I have to pay a life, so I'm dead to that. So we are going to have to look for temporary lockdown. That's the only out. That is not a temporary lockdown. Good game. Alright, should have mulliganed. Too slow. But game 3, we are on the play. I think this is fine. Maybe we do want one more Charter Course. Because Charter Course is going to help us dig and just discard some bad cards. -1 Gaze? Maybe -1 Jin. Jin is just not exciting in this matchup. This is another matchup that, I mean, most of them do, but like the Giraffe really excels in over Jin. I mean, we have good cards. Ow. The Painland notably is actually going to be relevant if it plays a creature. Ooh, we love to see it. Okay, so I kind of like the idea of just doing this and then playing this. We're going to get all 3 modes. And it's going to really force him to commit to the board to get through it, making it more difficult for him to play around temporary lockdown. So that should be good. Give us some time to kind of dig, because our hand is pretty doing not a lot here. I think we might Otherworldly Gaze in our upkeep. Actually, we really don't need to do that. So we kind of know what we want to do on the turn anyways. I'm assuming Cultivator, yeah. Sure. These are really, really impactful here in protecting our life, while also just forcing him to commit more to get through it, which is really good. Getting us more value at a temporary lockdown here. On top. Okay. No, that gets eaten by lockdown. We don't really care about that. I think we definitely want this charter course, because we really don't need 5 lands plus however many more we're going to be drawing. I can't imagine he kept the Mirrors on top. So what do we think is in his hand? A Recruiter's pretty reasonable. Yeah, there it is. So let's resolve. Very unfortunately, we can't kill this with blockers, and it will live through a temporary lockdown. You should put it on the Warden. The 2/2, my guy. Yeah, good call. Well played. Ow. Ow. Graveyard. Let us deal with this. I don't actually hate that. We still need a creature though, don't we? We don't have a creature yet. We're at 14. No, I don't think that's where we want to be. I think we really want to be digging. Okay, so this pick look, we're really going to need to hit a creature. That's unfortunate we can't hit it with a make disappear, but it is what it is. We're still in a great position as long as we can find a creature. Setting a stop in my upkeep in case we want to be otherworldly gazing. Ah, perfect. It's not a monastery monk, but it is a creature. No, we're not going to gaze now because we're likely grabbing. Ooh, okay. Now we're talking. Now we are talking. Hey, textbook game of how this should go. This is good. This is good. And this is Cavern? No, it's not. I can counter that. Okay, so we've definitely stabilized the approach we want to take is, right, so we just try and stall the board. It's the reason we have these Elspeth Mites in here. Just trying to draw the game out so we can resolve a temporary lockdown and stabilize with a creature. And that is our post-board strategy against Boros Convoke. I'm just going to protect our life total here. As much as we could trade, we really don't need to, or we could even take the life. We're just going to be able to attack in here. If I was paying attention, I should have gazed in my upkeep just to fix my draw, but It's at this point of no relevance. Good game. You see I have these. You know I have all of this. There's no possible answer. Sure. We'll check for and make disappear. Don't need you, don't need you, don't need you. We would have to do this. I'm going to stop it. You are dead to my flower. Good game. Alright. Like that. That is how this matchup should go. Getting that game 1 is really important. Get the play game 3. And just a recap of the deck for this one. Oh, this looks terrible. Anyways, with the new cards coming out, the changes that will be made to this deck, at least as it is now, -2 Jin, +2 Gerulf, -2 Gaze, -1 Chardacourse for 3 Jaces. The cards we brought in for that matchup, albeit are very hard to see here, was Elspeth Smite, 2 Elspeth Smite. We brought in 2 Sunset Reveille and 3 Temporary Lockdown, taking out to make disappear 1 Jin I think we landed on, the Soul Partition, and 2 otherworldly Gazes. Yep, it was a good one. Alright, domain. It's been a while since I played with Gaze. I think we're supposed to just Gaze here, not Sleight of Hand. Has higher upside to actually be doing something pretty impactful by doing exactly that. Yep. Okay, thank you. Yeah, so super rewarded for gazing here instead of Sleight of Hand. Really gives us a high impact turn 2. It's alright, you can 3-mana Leyline Binding. Okay. So I think we just want to establish a mentor. No, okay. If we go mentor and he untaps and just like removal spells, like we probably lose. Alternatively, we can just like sleight of hand and slow play it. We do have 4 counter spells. Like, I don't hate that. Holding it make disappear. Yeah, that's definitely the better line. I don't want to lose to a Sunfall here. I think we can just do this now for some extra damage. And we can hold on to this. Do we want to draw this? I think so. Yeah. So Domain is another good matchup for us. We're more so Jim than Mentor actually in this matchup, but we're just looking to establish a threat and protect it. Really glad we made the call that we did. So we made that read right. We didn't take the unnecessary risk. So it works. Level 1 plan comes together here. But yeah, this is the reason the matchup's good. We can establish a threat and protect it typically pretty well. We do have lethal set up next turn. I like the idea of playing Gaze because we are on 4 Make Disappear. So if we Gaze and then Picklock, we can dig 7 cards. So obviously here we're looking for a second Make Disappear. Perfect. So if we go ahead and do this actually, we can attack, chart a course, draw the Make Disappear plus 1 more card instead of having to use the Picklock here. Sorry, no, that's wrong. We're going to attack. Oh no, I'm way off on that. Yeah, what is it? We don't have a way to draw. We're just going to have to attack and then Picklock. Okay. So we're weak to a we're weak to Leyline Binding, but he didn't have it, so good game. Easy peasy. So this matchup, Spell Pierce is extremely good against them. Disdainful Stroke, obviously good. I cut Destroy Evils. I don't... not that they're... Obviously they're great in this matchup, but they're only good in this matchup. For at least this way this deck plays, so they didn't make the cut. Yeah, that seems really greedy. Okay. Soul Partition, I don't necessarily love here. I want all these counter spells. On the draw, because this does not hit. What's his face? I mean, I don't mind cutting this. Maybe we can trim 1, Make Disappear, trim a Gaze. And... do I trim Make Disappear? I think so. Yeah, without being able to counter the beans, it's not great. So I think that I'm okay with trimming that. I don't know if we need this much draw. Like I really like this for the mid-range games. Let's trim a chart a course or a idea here. I think this is good. I like this. Inspired Idea is really for the grindy mid-range games where you do go through all of your resources and you need to top up. These games against Domain don't really go to that. So this hand's good. We're happy with this. If I had Spell Pierce in hand, I would have held up Spell Pierce here instead of casting the Sleight of Hand. We didn't necessarily need to be digging here for a land because we could have Spell Pierced and then Charge Force. Luckily, we get he didn't have the beans and we're in a good position. No beans. Alright, he has a Leyline Binding. Oh, never mind. Herd Migration. Derp. So we'll see if he's got a Cavern and if he wants to put it on whatever the green 3-mana creature is. Looks like no. We are going to counter this creature. He doesn't have it. What is your hand doing? Alright, we already have a Make Disappear. And I would like at some point to start drawing cards off these charter courses, so getting a Picklock into play seems pretty reasonable. So we're gonna pick this up. We'll get our tap land. Yeah, get our tap land into play. And we're just gonna pass back. We do not need more lands. So against Domain, we really just want to be holding up our counterspells, stopping them from doing anything in early turns. Yep, just fire enough counterspells at it, and if they don't do anything, we're trying to use our instant speed, cantrips, and deck fitting. And at this point, So we could go Mentor plus Sleight of Hand. So pros to that. I don't know what the pros to that are. Why would I do that? Because it forces him to board sweep instead of... No, actually that's really weak to Angel. No. Angel one kicker killing Mentor is like a slap in the nuts. And I'm not into that, so... Let's go with Picklock, and then we can flash in Picklock on his turn. It's also then going to let us set up to be double drawing off Chart of Course here. We do need to start applying pressure. You know, if there is a uncountable Atraxa coming down at some point, then the game will start spiraling. I don't hate the Disdainful Stroke here. As much as we don't have an answer to an Atraxa, it is a good answer to everything else. Okay, so we do need to start establishing some threats, so we really don't need to be drawing extra cards. So let's just let's get this guy in. You know, if he fires off a Leyline Binding, I think we'll just try and Disdainful Stroke it. We'll probably lose on the spot, like then we're really far behind. Flanker. Alright. It's good to know that came in. Interesting. I make a note of that. Domain. Sideboard in Flanker. Okay. Not having instant cast here feels really bad. I'm not blocking. I need to build to attack to Chart of Course. Okay, so the way we can win the game if he has Atraxa is we basically need to kill it when he plays it, and then kill him on the next turn. Like we need to find a Get Lost and make a bunch of dudes. Yeah, I mean, if you want to Sunfall off this, like, that's all you, buddy. You're definitely not in a terrible position if you Sunfall this guy. Here's 7. This is difficult. If he has Atraxa, this does protect us against a Leyline Binding. It also, like, if he goes to land Atraxa, a Leyline Binding, this will be really good against that. It'll also be good if he goes for Herd Migration. It's going to be bad if he doesn't do one of those things and I can't get value out of this. I would have been better to be Sleight of Handing here. I think I like the idea of holding up the Spell Pierce. Yeah, we're not concerned about our life. We're not making any trade concessions here. This is just going to happen. We really want to be able to apply pressure on the backswing here, if that's an Atraxa. Alright, so that's unfortunate. That's the one thing we didn't have an answer to, but whether we had Sleight of Hand or Spell Pierce here, it wasn't great. And obviously, we have 5 cards against 2. So that looks good. Start reestablishing a threat. We're going to have to Get Lost this. Actually, we may not, honestly. Yeah. Probably just chump block it and hold this for Atraxa. Yeah. I'm happy with that. Notably, he did not play a land last turn. He has 2 spells in hand. It's an interesting judgment call if he didn't play Atraxa last turn. Picklock's worse. Yeah. What does that tell us? I don't know what that tells us. Yeah. Alright. Alright, so we're going to let him search. Did you find untapped white source Leyline? Neither of those. Creature, enchantment, planeswalker, land. Okay. Can we kill you? We have 4 creatures. The base power of these... Okay, base power of these is 4. 4 will put you down to 17. We need to cast 5 spells to kill you this turn. Get law. Okay, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. And we need to cast... Sorry. This puts him to 17. Oh, I need to cast 6 spells this turn. So I would need to cast this... I mean, I have to do this regardless. Yeah, so let's start with this. There's no way that's not happening. We can otherworldly gaze here first. None of those is an untapped land that we needed to hit. We've cast 2 spells. We need to cast 4 more. So we do need to find an untapped land. Unless there's a Djinn in our graveyard. There's not a Djinn in our graveyard. All I need is an untapped land. If I keep this. That might have been the wrong call there. Oh wait, no, I fucked myself. What am I saying? Oh, because we have to discard a card. Whoopsie. Shit. Whoops. Bad math. He should not have considered. That's so funny. It's not lethal. Well, we'll take those. Anyways, so had I not done bad math, is that still the line we take? Do we just go all in there? So we go all in, we put him down to... Okay, let's say we did the math properly. So I chart a course here. That is 6, 6, 7, so that's 19. He goes down to 2. He untaps and Sunfalls with 4 open mana. And we have nothing left. That's assuming he has a Sunfall. If he doesn't have a Sunfall... I think this was right. Probably getting to here, hold up Spell Pierce, say go. I think getting him low is probably right. Because he may just feel like he needs to, like, without Sunfall, he needs to just go for Atraxa. At which point we're going to hope to, I mean, with the mana we have, we can just chain off, upkeep, like, Otherworldly Gaze, fix our draw step to find a cantrip, ideally chart a course, and then chart a course plus, that's Gaze, cantrip, chart a course, and then whatever we draw off them, we get 3 draws. That should be enough damage to kill even through Atraxa. So actually, I think, as much as I fucked up the math, I think this was still the right line. With the new build, with the new cards, we are going to have plus... it's -2 Djinn, +2 Geralf, as it my theory crafting sits right now, which would hurt this matchup a little bit. Like, Djinn is very impactful, like we would have saw here. Tempo-wise and reducing the cost of our counterspells. Additionally, although it does help them match up, I believe we would have Jace instead of the clunky Otherworldly Gazes. So, I don't know. It's a matchup that I can't... I think it's slightly worse. It's still good. Like, that matchup is obviously favored. but it is a little bit worse, I think. On the play, one cantrip, no good payoff. How spicy are we feeling? We don't know what he's playing. All right, so we go land. How good is this hand if we hit a land? We got a 75% chance to hit a land. We go consider. If we hit a land off of that, well, actually no, it's like 56% to hit a land off that, and then we get to go untapped land, chart a course, ditch this. Turn 3, we're living the dream. 56% chance of that happening. We don't do that. And we naturally draw the land. There's a 75% chance that we've naturally drawn the land going into the second turn. And then we only have what we found off the consider, which is hopefully a cantrip. That's not great. Or we take a mulligan. Like there's a 25% chance we just, yeah, it's just mulligan. It's not great. I don't know why I talk. Well, this is why, I mean, that might have been worth keeping, because like, I feel like this hand is not, like, that 75% chance to have a reasonable hand might be better than whatever this turns into, but no, we are going to keep this. Because we're high on lands, the Gonjo might be used. I do think 2 archives is correct. I think 2 archives and 2 beach is right. More Boros. This is let's pretend like I have interaction with you. Fear my counter spell. Yeah, no word in there. Do I have 4 or 4 removal spells in this silly deck? I know 3 yet. Okay. Okay. Hello! Hello! Okay, we have 12 1-drops that we can play in our deck that we really need to draw one of. Yeah, I think we're done. What if this hand was a mulligan? I mean, going to 5 when he keeps 7, though, like, you're just not typically going to win that game. And there was a chance of winning this game. We obviously did not draw in the way that, you know, made that realistic, but... Alright, the Boros Convoke, you got me. Damn, found the cantrip. If he is drawing blanks, we're in this. But he needs to be drawing blanks. Recruiter? This seems like a recruiter line. Or is it Warden tap to gain flying? Oh, okay. Yeah, we're done. Okie dokie. You got me. Okay, so what do we decide? We definitely, obviously take these, we take these, we take these, we need to not die. We are trimming on Chart a Course, we're trimming on Make Disappear, we are trimming on Otherworldly Games, we're trimming the Inspired Idea and a Djinn. I think this is what we like. I don't know how much I love trimming on the Chart a Course, actually, just because like we really need to get to Temporary Lockdown, and we need double white. Double white is hard, with only like 13 or 14 untapped white sources. Maybe it's this, like, because Djinn sucks. Like, Djinn just really sucks here. It helps close out the game once we can stabilize, but like realistically, and once we stabilize, we should be able to just win through a single mentor. So I think that's good, but we obviously don't want to have no other threats. In the new version of the deck, this will be Giralf, and Giralf is incredibly good against Boros Convoke. It just spits out 2/2s, 3/3s, basically every turn once he's in play, and that's obviously extremely good. So let's fire this back. Temporary lockdown, and ways to find a second blue or white source. Okay, here we really do want to land. I think we're still fine with just jamming Gaze though here. I really like whenever we have Gaze just setting it turn 1. I don't really have a good explanation why, but it just feels right. So, all this is good. So, I think we want a sunset here. We're gonna draw, we're gonna be able to create dorks and draw a card. Yeah. Oh, I think I was supposed to board up the Soul Partition. Again, in this matchup, we just want to clog the board. We want to slow them down. We want to, importantly, force them to commit more to the board and get more value out of lockdown. So playing the Revelry here does a really good job at ensuring they need to commit more to the board before we lock down. Like we're unlikely to be casting lockdown this turn. Probably just jam a creature, again making the board harder for them to get through. I don't think it's Mentor here because Mentor gets cased pretty well. Oh well, I mean now this gets cased too, so. At this point, I think I'm content with a Mentor. Or do we lock down here at this point? Okay, so we go Mentor. He untaps, let's say, what's the worst that happens? He untaps. He plays a 3/3, and then he casts Ranger. And then my temporary lockdown on the following turn, I'm really far behind. If I just temporary lockdown now, he can't cast Ranger in a 3/3 alone. I can then respond to. Okay, no, we need to lock down now. This is definitely enough of a threat. Yeah, that would have been better for you last turn, my guy. You probably take Genikath, because like taking a Mentor Female is bad. Do you take the cantrip? I could see taking the cantrip being reasonable. Yeah, it checks out. Okay, so I do want to ditch the Soul Partition. I think I just want another Otherworldly Gaze. Like we can see the impact it feels getting to lockdown. Like hit your lands, hit your spells, and just be able to dig to stabilize with the lockdown. You just win this game, this matchup. So I think that's right. I really do believe we shouldn't trim any of this, and we just need ways to not die, so Elspeth's Smite's fine. And Get Lost, importantly, does kill the stuff that is out of the range of temporary lockdown, so. The only question is the second Chart of Course, or fourth Chart of Course. I don't mind 2 Make Disappears, honestly. Like, it does hit, I mean, on the draw it doesn't hit Invasion, but it hits War Leader's Call, it hits a Convoked Ranger, assuming, you know, they tapped Cavern or they just haven't drawn it, so. And I think if I'm drawing like a second Chart of Course, I probably would just want it to be a second Make Disappear. So I think this is fine, as much as we have so much draw already. So yeah, I think this is it. Let me just take a screenshot of this. I really like this sideboard plan. And then I'll have to assess a bit more, just see how slightly different it will be with the new cards. Alright, get up to 7. This hand looks bad, but it's actually pretty reasonable. So we talked about, our hand is goal is to get to a temporary lockdown. This is gonna let us, like, we can cast it on turn 1. We can cast it on upkeep of turn 2. We're gonna get to mill 6 cards, so we're gonna hit, like with this, we'll hit our land sources, and we'll also ideally be able to mill anything that isn't a temporary lockdown or a land. So I actually like this. This could be wrong, but I think it's fine. Let's stop my upkeep. Trying a second get lost is pretty bad here. Do I want to keep this on the top? I don't think so. We're going to play this and we're going to flip whatever our top card is. Alternatively, we can go Gonjo, and then just like shoot the Warden. That also seems fine, honestly. Or just like make disappear something. And then keep the Meticulous on top for the next turn. Yeah. We're not going to do this now. I can't imagine there's a world where he just immediately taps us right now, so and we'll get rewarded for not doing it right now. Wedding announcement is definitely a card we don't want to see. Keeping these 2 of Make Disappears is nice. Like, this could have been a 4th chart, of course, in which like that would have been pretty bad here. So I do like. I think that. I mean, it worked out this time. Nice. All right, you're continuing to do nothing. We're gonna. I didn't step. Oh wait, no, I knew what the card was. I panicked because I thought I had Otherworldly Gaze in my upkeep. Nope, you are not a temporary lockdown. So get out. Go. Shoot. Shoot. All right. There's a world where I kill this in response. It stops him from, if he doesn't have another land, it stops him from casting Ranger. It also stops him from Scrying, regardless. So I think we definitely do this now. Yeah. Yeah, there's no, I don't see what the upside would be to not doing that right now. I'm going to set a stop my upkeep while I remember to do this. Invasion. We're not really too concerned about. Notably, we're not going to be able to cast a temporary lockdown this turn regardless, like unless we just naturally draw it here. So I don't. This is an enchantment on the other side right now. I don't like the idea of just gazing an upkeep. So I think we're just going to naturally draw, see what we hit. That's not bad, actually, so... We're going to go into our main phase, and sleight of hand look for a land. Or a picklock, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, we don't have double blue, so the gaze doesn't really excite me in any way. Okay, notably this can't kill this here, but once it flips, we can. So if he doesn't take Get Lost and he does attack it in main phase, like after combat, we can kill this. That's fine. Alright, we're gonna have to set him there. Because this... I mean, this doesn't protect against temporary lockdown is the thing, though, so... Alternatively, we can picklock or flashback gaze. But if we take that line and we don't find temporary lockdown, we're really in trouble. So... I think the safe play is to just kill this. Yeah, I don't think we need to take an unnecessary risk like that. So we're still feeling fine. Temporary lockdown layer looks like it just locks him out of the game. Recruiter. I still don't want to gate. I mean, I want to hit a land though, is the thing. No, I do. Yeah, let's find a land. There's no creature for helping him to do anything with, so you're out. You're out. This is 10 damage, puts me to 7. I could just Elspeth smite this, go to 11. Doesn't seem too bad, honestly. Yeah, that's pretty good. We actually should have done this main phase in case we milled a creature, and basically we can mill a creature and find a helping hand. We could just find like a sleight of hand, for example, that we would just want to cast. Waiting on it doesn't do anything. The only thing it could do is give us a surprise find. Elspeth might kill a recruiter, which is really not that exciting. Which we actually would have done, but he didn't attack anyway, so it's not relevant. Alright, we need to find an answer to this. We also need to find a creature, like... So this is one of the, again, the reasons why I like the idea of, like, when we do get Geralf, or Geralf, whatever how you pronounce it, instead of Jin, still being able to keep enough threats to be constantly finding him in the deck. Because even Jin here would not be exciting. Like, it's not going to help us stabilize. But Geralf would be incredible here. Land first, in case I end up having to spend all my mana. Okay, we're starting to fall behind again here. We don't have an answer to Knight Errant. We don't have an answer to Recruiter. I think we're going to need to gaze here and be really just looking for a temporary lockdown. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I think if we don't find a temporary lockdown, we're probably going to die on his next turn. We've drawn 25 cards of our deck so far. It is, you know, not necessarily overly likely that we would not have found that temporary lockdown so far, so a little unlucky. But that's magic. Yeah. Alright, well, here's a monk. We have 7 lands next turn, so we can create 2 creatures. That will help us stabilize. I'm leaving the Consider on top here because we are going to be casting Free the Fae on his turn. So ensuring we have something to hit is going to be important. We don't need lots of white on this turn. We may want to chain off blue spells, so that's why we're going to tap like this. See if we can keep him alive. Here goes a temporary lockdown. Oh, frig! I forgot we had make disappear. Whoopsie. Oh, I should have cast it in response. Shit. Shit. Big bucks, no whammies. Huge misplay. And punished. I think that might have lost us the game. So if we had make disappear that, we have a 4/4. Oh yeah, I think that actually lost us the game. I set the stop. Okay, so for anyone who's watching this, if you do play, if you hit the last point on their turn where, like the last interaction or chance either player has priority, because we were both tapped out, like the moment I clicked OK, the game client basically queued up that it was my turn and drawing the card. So even though visually I clicked the stop before it came to my turn, like it was still on his turn, it had already drawn my card and not given me the opportunity to stop. So I unfortunately did not get to Otherworldly Gaze in my upkeep, which I needed to do to see if it would have found me a card to live. Very unfortunate. Oh, buddy. All right. Well, I mean, it was definitely a challenging game. We got unlucky not finding the temporary lockdown, drawing half of our deck. We also just like straight up misplayed, not free this Fae in response to the trigger, which caused us to take some extra. Well, for Monastery Mentor to die, which I mean, there's no way of knowing for sure, but we're probably still in this. I mean, we're definitely in the game. We're probably still ahead if we have Monastery Mentor here, because then we get to chain off those spells on our turn and create a bunch of dorks and blockers, and that's a point where we're really far ahead. So outside of the misplay, I think we were winning, but no way to know for sure. We'll play one more, and then I'm gonna go. Hello. What is this deck list thing? How do I add this to my channel? What is that? A stream decker offers. I just have a deck list to share. All right, I'm gonna close this. Ooh, control. Okay. All right, I don't hate getting some practice in against control. Who in the main phase is? Probably, I really don't want to get countered. No creatures in the bin, so I'm not keen on Helping Hand. It's also very possible that my Jin gets no more allied, so it makes Helping Hand even worse. Let's grab the chart course. It's going to be important in these control games. You also get a lot. You get a lot of value out of just getting these guys out and getting them attacking. So he does not have a counterspell. That's good to know. I think he has a march, the way that passed, or some sort of a removal spell. Important to remember we're on 4 no more lies. I'm sorry, 4 make disappears. So it's going to be pretty relevant in this matchup. Let's play our land first. We're not playing Jin here because he just hits it with like a no more lies or a removal spell, and we're just feeling real sad. So counter target spell unless we pay 4. I don't have 4 mana, good sir, so that's fine. I mean, maybe I was supposed to play Jin there. Because Jin, flash, or take it back with a Helping Hand seems good, but I think that line also could have got really punished if he did draw a no more lies. Alright, we milled a Mentor, which is nice. We did just whiff, though, which is a bit painful. It's extremely painful. So, but it is what it is. Let's grab you. And we're just going to chart a course. Unfortunately, we have not drawn a counterspell to be able to protect this, so we're just going to commit to it. It's likely going to die. I imagine there's some sort of a removal spell here. Yeah, that makes sense. Just going to get as much value out. We're going to force a removal spell. 2 dorks plus a picklock should be enough. Definitely. What do we have on the stack here? We're drawing 2 cards, right? Yeah. Okay, I don't want that. I don't mind drawing Sleight of Hand, honestly. So we'll leave these 2. But yeah, this looks like enough of a threat to force a sweeper for sure. I mean, if he has temporary lockdown main board, like that makes this much worse. But we'll see. If he taps out for Sunfall here, that's pretty good for us because we can just go Jin, hold up Make Disappear, which puts us in a pretty strong position here. Like 3 mana 9/4 flyer is, I've been told it's good. Having another land, so like I know I always harp on it, but like hitting your land drops in this deck is so important. Like being able to hold up 2 pieces of interaction here, it makes the world of difference. So. I don't love that I have to double Make Disappear a Mentor right, or a Wandering Emperor right now. But I don't think we can really play around that too much. Like we'd have to go Picklock, Make Disappear, sacking it. Which I don't think is good. It's not the worst. Actually, I don't hate that. Because that if he then untaps and tries to fare well, he's dead. Can't counterspell that. I need lands. Give me lands! Thank you. Messy. They don't play proactive threats outside of Jacing me when I hit 15, so I think we're pretty safe to do this. What else can help us block? You want to kill us in response? That'd be great. You're going to draw land, eh? You're gonna draw a card. I think we're content with drawing you because Jin is really weak to farewell. Like if he just farewells us here, even like when it's not on the board, getting rid of my graveyard, he's just gonna be pretty useless. So having a second threat is obviously important here. Specifically also not a second Jin. Interesting. Okay. This is a play of desperation. He's concerned about it getting counterspelled. He also just doesn't have anything to do because you wouldn't be doing this if you had something to do. So he's likely got some extra lands in here. Like I imagine counterspell, maybe a weak counterspell would be no, because he I don't know what that might be. Like he's got to have like 1 or 2 lands minimum. What are the cards gonna be? I mean, I guess that's all I can really know for sure. I think I need to just get a Jin out here. Again, weak to No More Lies. What do I want to have next turn for sure? I think Jin is pretty high upside if he can't counterspell it here. Yeah. This being a tap land is pretty painful. Oh, okay. I think I'm perfectly fine with drawing this. I can't imagine a world where I don't want to draw. Pick lock. Okay. We really just want to protect this. Like there's no reason to be flashing these back. We have a very strong position. Don't screw it up. It is possible we can just kill him here. So we just need to get 4 spells into the graveyard. So we are gonna just get a sleight of hand in here first. Help fill the bin. Think as well. Let's do this now in case we get another sorcery. More counterspells. Honestly, can't go wrong with that. So that is... Doesn't have a man lands, like the flying. This represents lethal. I just need to get an instant sorcery to the bin. So... Let's attack first, actually. Maybe he proactively does something that I can counterspell. That would be one of those proactive things I can counterspell. I have 2 more than him, man. Really sorry about this. And this is why, in terms of for future testing, right? Like Jin is so incredibly impactful in these control matchups, and Geralf is obviously not nearly as good. Reducing the cost of our spells and just being a threat itself that can lock up the game. All right, so we're bringing in 2 Spell Pierce. We're bringing in 2 Disdainful Stroke. We're gonna leave all of our counterspells in. We're gonna remove Soul Partition. In an open deckless event like our RC, we will know if they have what the heck's the name. I'm blanking on it somehow. Blue-white, can't target stuff in graveyards. That is a reasonable 2-of in a lot of Azorius Control sideboards. So leaving Get Lost in against that is important. Like you need to have an answer for it, especially on the draw when you can't make disappear. It makes your hand really clunky. So it'll be better with Jace when you can loot dead cards away, but as for now, Denik. No, it's not Denik. Yeah, it's Denik. Denik's the problem card, so... we're gonna leave 2 of these in just in case. I don't love the idea of just losing to a Denik. So, what are we gonna take out? We are gonna take out a Helping Hand, I think. So Helping Hand can be clunky if we're just casting creatures into No Mere Lies. Also gets a bit clunky sometimes when we're just doing churning, not being able to proactively do anything. So We can trim that. I also don't mind trimming an otherworldly gaze. I don't know how right that is, though. So this is the other side. I think on the flip side of this, I think the only way you win this game is by getting a... You need to get really aggressive. You need to, quickly get something into the graveyard and protect it with counterspells. So otherworldly gaze is really good against something into the graveyard, and you do need to have a helping hand to bring it back. So as I talk this through, I think those really do need to stay. And this is where, like, if I knew he had Denick, it's a different story. I think we're going to trim these. If we see Denick, we'll bring it back in for game 3. And let's go ahead and trim... I don't want to trim Charter Course because it's also going to help us. It's really key in this matchup for obvious reasons. Let's get rid of side of him. Hi, Mr. Ewan Poo, and I'm going to pronounce it wrong, but hello. We are playing Azorius Tempo, testing for the upcoming regional championship, and the new card's coming out. All right, he's on the play. He's got a mulligan. I actually like this hand. This hand is serviceable. We're going to see 8 cards before we could miss a land drop. It's going to help us potentially mill something. That's a terrible draw. We're going to do this now. We don't want to get counterspelled. We can ditch this. We can ditch this. This is really cool. We need a Charter Course. Well, there's no Denick, importantly. We are going to need to find another land off this flashback. That's fine. Whenever I get a chance to counterspell Deduce, we're always looking too early on. I need these lands. I don't need you. We're going to keep both these. So it doesn't matter which order we want. You're very new to Magic. You own not many cards in the Tarot type now. Well, welcome. Magic is definitely a lot of fun. A very deep game for however much you want to get invested into it. I think the starter decks are really good, and like the challenge, the challenge decks you can play. Try them all. I would recommend. Like if you're looking for something like when you're learning the game, just try all the different decks. You'll get lots of different types of decks to play, and it'll kind of like help you see different styles you might like, what colors you do and don't like. My content will probably not be of too much interest to you. It's more high level, talking strategy and card decisions. But if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer for you. This is good. So this is not, very importantly, this is not No More Lies. It did not exile Jin, and it can be flashback. That's incredibly important in this matchup. Yeah, the color style. So blue, I can give you a rundown of them. Let me just figure out what I'm doing on this turn. I'll give you a rundown of all the colors. I think we just want to flash this back and protect it, or do we just want to go monk? Actually, I think we can get away with this. Is this right? No, this is wrong. Yeah, that's wrong. What am I doing? Don't be greedy. Don't be greedy. Okay. Colors. Blue. So the islands, blue, are it's your control color. It's the reactive color. Blue decks do not do proactive things. You typically wait for your opponent to do something and you react to it. Typically probably not the best learning. You need to know what your opponent is doing to react to it well. As you're learning, there's obviously lots more of alternative stuff to it in the blue, but that's typically blue is your control color. White is more of like a creature based in life gain color. They play a lot of typically like small white creatures, or they're interactive and can be a lot of fun. Lots of like utility stuff in white. red, we're both on white blue decks. Red is your aggressive, hit your opponent in the face, very, very aggro. You typically would play a lot of abilities that like you can actually just like deal direct damage to your opponent, and you're just trying to close out games really quick in red. Green is typically like a go big. You just play really big creatures. You play really strong creatures, and you put a lot of lands into play. And then lastly is black. Black is like the death, the dread removal color. A lot of things are about negatively interacting with your opponent proactively, so like killing their creatures, making them discard cards. Sometimes you might be paying life yourself to draw cards. It's like the death color, if you will. Talking about thinking. We need to keep the chart, of course. And I don't like missing land drops. I'm going to do this. We're going to... Oh god, So this is... Okay, this protects us from untapped farewell, which is pretty relevant. Black seems like it could be a lot of fun. Yeah, it's definitely a lot of fun. Most decks you're going to play... Oh, that's a blow. Most decks you're going to play, as the challenge decks do, they're typically 2 colors, so you'll pair them together. Like you'll see me and my opponent are both playing 2 color decks, like we're both white-blue. That's a really good place to start. Finding a color combination that you like. The challenge decks you get to play will have lots of different combinations, and they'll be themed as well. That'll be really helpful in terms of kind of letting you try different things and figuring out what you do and don't enjoy. So highly recommend, probably pick the one that seems interesting, click and read the cards, play it once or twice, and then try something new. Will help you get the most mileage and learning what you do and don't like. Because there'll be lots of, there'll probably be 4 different color combinations of black decks. Like there will probably be a black white, black red, black green, black blue deck. And they'll all be very different. Okay, if I do this, and he has no more lives, I'm sad. But I don't really have another option, so. And he also hasn't played no more lives this entire match so far, so. It's kind of like the best card in your deck, so. He's got to have it, he's just been unlucky. Yeah, definitely give them all a try. You'll get a lot of different options. I don't know what the starter decks are if blue is control, but if you open up like the blue decks, and because if you double click them you can see the decks and you see things that say counter, unless you really like personally like the idea of being like a controlling reactive person, I would avoid this. It's not an intuitive way to learn the game. And it probably won't be as much fun in my opinion as doing something else. Like when I started learning Magic, I avoided blue like the plague. Like it was not fun to me. It was definitely something I picked up in the later years. Like, well, I should say specifically the counter part of blue. Like there is blue decks that don't play counter spells. Just not as many. So this is an example of what the counter spell does. He tried to kill my creature. No, he's silly. He tried to kill my creature. I tried to stop him from doing that, and then he played this card, which stopped me from doing that. So it's like a whole stupid thing of us just trying to stop each other from doing one thing. I think I map first. Yep. Yikes. My gosh. Less lands. This is kind of cool. It's a luge. Yeah. Yeah. We're pretty far behind. This is why we need to be playing the tempo game with like a sideboarding strategy of trying to get a threat into play and protecting it early. Unfortunately, I'm going to be honest, don't remember what happened at the start of this game and why that we didn't, but this is an example of how we lose this matchup. We didn't keep the cards in that give us, the long-term card advantage, because it's typically not as it's not as likely to win. But unfortunately, we took the sideboarding strategy, which I believe has a higher chance of win, keeping the less value, more tempo cards in, and this draw just didn't pan out, and that happens. It's not over yet, but. If he kills this, I'm just going to concede and we'll go to the next one. Currently using the Goblin deck. You spam goblins, multiply them. Use an effect that makes little power and tax. Just yeah. Goblins is a pretty unique deck. Like, it's a tribal deck, so it's got a very obvious theme to it. If you tell me a little bit more about, maybe some other games you've played, or like what type of like general strategies you might like. Like, do you like the idea of gaining life? Do you like the idea of flying over your opponents? That goblin is what I would call a go wide strategy, right? You're not trying to make bigger creatures than your opponent. You're trying to make more of them so you can just attack, through them. Sounds like you may not enjoy that, because that's that go wide strategy. So you might like a green deck that goes over, so it goes big. Plays Yu-Gi-Oh. Okay, yeah. I don't remember Yu-Gi-Oh, unfortunately. I did play it a long time ago. Yeah, maybe if you like the creature-based strategies, no, I get blown up by one Emperor. You could maybe try a green deck or black. I'll take a look at the starter decks after this, if I can try and find something. Yeah, I played Yu-Gi-Oh when I was a young teenager, but not so much now. I don't remember how the game works. Yes. My guy, if you just do something proactive, I will concede. I'm not winning this game. And I feel like we're wasting our time. Kill my Jin. This match is so slow. Come on. I like building up strong creatures, but I also like to use effects, and not like direct damage, but things that make others weaker, makes you stronger, discard this stuff, damage cards. Okay, definitely black. You're gonna really like black. And if you like the creature-based strategy, black-green might be where it's at for you. Alright, let's see this game. Alright, we're going into the third game of our best of three. After that, I can go into the decks with you. You probably don't want, there's probably a mono-black deck, but you don't want a black-blue combination. Black-red is pretty aggressive. Black-green might be like larger creatures that are also banishing. But, yeah, black-green, I think, would be a pretty reasonable one for you. I wonder if I can Google the starter decks. I can't leave this match to check for you, otherwise I would. MTG Arena starter decks. Arena construct. Oh, here we go. Vivian's Hunt. Hop. 2 color decks, season 2023. Can I select these? There's a blue-red, there's a green-red. Grave Secrets. So there's a green... Oh yeah, black also interacts with graveyard sometimes. I didn't mention that. There's a black-white deck. Where is it? What is black-green? Scavengers. Scavengers is a mid-range deck with a graveyard recursion theme, face down, Phyrexian Gargantuan. Yeah, if you can find a starter deck called Scavengers, it should be black and green. I think that might be... click into it and read the cards. It's a creature-based theme with some high-impact creatures that are pretty strong. You're going to be able to bring them back from the graveyard to play, it looks like, a little bit. And you also do have some removal spells, like not hit your opponent in the face, but like direct damage hit your opponent's creatures. Okay, let me see if I can scavenge. So we'll link it for you. The name of it. Okay, so we don't play Jin here. We don't want to just get blown up by a counterspell. We are going to, hold up and make disappear. We're looking to counter Deduce. Obviously didn't play it last turn, but we're probably, if he counters here, we can untap in Jin, and then Jin is going to discount, make disappear, and then that's the point when we're really far ahead in this game. So we obviously would be happy to get there. Again, we don't want to just jam our only threat here. We'd be very far behind, so instead we're just going to, if it gets counterspelled, so we're just going to pick lock. It creates a threat, and it's also going to enable us to chart a course if he doesn't deal with it. So when we're playing this matchup, really remember the importance of this and just protecting our threat. I'm pretty happy to just counterspell this here. There's nothing really too exciting on 4 that I want to counter on his turn, and I don't need to hold up mana to be doing anything else, so we're happy to ditch that right there. That was weird. I wonder if, I guess it's just use your mana efficiently. You should do that. Almost Siege Shark. Alright, well I don't have an answer to that outside of forcing him to the display card on the deck is kind of cool looking. Yeah, I imagine it's probably like a mythic or something. What's the name of it? We are not going to cast the second Charter Course. We need to hold a Make Disappear, protect our threats. Right, the moment we lose this Jin in this matchup, we're really far behind. And we are going to shoot it. We're going to ditch the pit clock. Mythic cards are, it is in your deck, that deck, it is called Shadow of the Enemy in the Scavengers, according to the Google page I'm looking at. If they're black, so this is that's not a good example. This is like black, it's a common, actually sorry, let me just take my turn and then I will walk through it. Okay, I want to make sure we have lethal next turn. So I like the idea of just getting the second Jin down. And we're going to chart a course. So we're just trying to protect these with the thing with or Make Disappear. Sorry, yeah. So flanker. I'm gonna have to come back to that question. I gotta think. Sorry. I think. I don't think I want to let this resolve. But if I sack something here, I'm pretty screwed. So we're gonna let this resolve. We're gonna let him exile our graveyard, and then we're just gonna refill it, or we're gonna try and refill it. Okay, really quickly to answer your question. Sorry. Black is common. Silver would be an uncommon. Rares are this gold color. And I don't think we have any mythics to show you in here, but that it's like an orangey color. The shadow of the enemy in that deck is the mythic. Vampire Lord. Let's see how it works. We're going to set a stop. I don't want to cast this second. I don't want to flash this back. I need to make disappear that. We need to fill our graveyard. I think we can hold on to this Spell Pierce. I think we're content with drawing this. What are the odds I can hit 2 instant sorceries? I think it's less than 50, but it's... Ooh, yikes. Alright. We gave up 1 damage. But Inspired Idea is going to be extremely good next turn. I should have played that land tapped. I should have got that land into play. I wasn't paying attention. Please just Sunfall. Oh god, I completely didn't play this. I can counterspell that. Let's get it. Alrighty, and my favorite card in this deck. I think this card is insane. Yeah, that seems way too good. That is lethal. Good game. Okay, well that's going to be it for my games tonight. And for my recording of the deck strategy, but side note, but let me look at some starter decks with you. I got a client glitch going on. How do I find starter decks? I think it's at the bottom of this, right? If I come back up. Yeah, here we go. Alright, we went into Scavenge. Here it is. Okay, yeah, so this is your mythic. You can see how it's oranger. That's the rarity in Magic is common, so the black, right? If you were to open a pack of physical cards, it's like probably like 12 or 13, I think 10 or 11 of these. Uncommon is the silver, you get 2 or 3 of them. Rare is the gold. You always get 1 or more in a pack. And then the rare will sometimes be replaced by a mythic. It's your highest rarity. So this deck is, really cool for the graveyard and the recursion. I definitely think it might be what seems interesting to you. Let me check that Vampire Lord card for you. Vampire Lord Yu-Gi-Oh! I like the artwork. It is. Inflicts battle damage to your opponent. So this is like a graveyard interaction, right? Like essentially you're just, once you've hit your opponent, it's destroyed and sent to your graveyard by an opponent's card effect. Summon this card. So this recurs. Am I understanding that right? Vampire Lord comes back from your graveyard. Is that how this guy works? Yeah, okay. Yeah, so graveyard recursion, definitely. So this Scavengers is a graveyard recursion deck. Like similar idea. So the cards that are going to recur, like revive or resurrect or whatever term we want to use. So this... No. Okay, well this was one of them, Conduit of the World. So you can play lands from graveyard. So you haven't cast this place turn. So you can, this lets you play creatures from your graveyard as spells. Spells are, if it is not a land in Magic, so you know, these are your resources to play things. If it's not a land, it is a spell. So all of these cards are spells. So this guy says, tap it, choose a non-land permanent or like a spell in your graveyard. If you haven't cast a spell this turn, you may cast it. So you just do this at the start of your turn. You can play it from your graveyard. I think there's some other recursion in here. This mill means put into the graveyard, so when this guy enters the battlefield, put the top 3 cards of your deck into your graveyard, and then you can put a creature card that was put into the graveyard into your hand. This adds mana equal to the number of creatures in the graveyard, which sounds pretty cool. This exiles a card from your graveyard when it attacks, and then makes a copy, which is really interesting. Exile all creature cards from, you would target yourself with this. You can cast spells from them as long as they made an exiled. Cool. What else do we got? Any other recursion? This lets you return it from the graveyard to the battlefield. Yeah, lots of graveyard recursion. This really just kind of matches your graveyard revival strategy. The other one that would be this Grave Secrets deck. What is this guy doing? So this is more of like a blue. Remember when I was talking about like the blue is kind of more of a control-y-ish game plan. So this doesn't play any counter spells, it looks like, but it is more of a somewhat reactive strategy. Yeah, Grave Secrets. So same idea. This it's more just interactive, if you will. The black-green deck is more you just do your thing, like you basically do your thing and hope you kill your opponent. This deck, part of doing your thing is interacting with your opponent. I would say the black-green would be a better one to learn off of. Like, for example, this card, you need to return your opponent's cards to their hand. So that's a little less intuitive. Something to check out later, I would recommend. So definitely start with the black-green one, and then I'd come check out this guy after. Definitely a cool graveyard deck as well. Anyway, I'm going to go. I'm exhausted. I hope you enjoyed, and feel free to add me as a friend or anything, and I'd be happy to chat or answer any questions for you. Just send me a message. Have a nice evening. How do I turn this off?